Okay. So I'm going to talk a lot tonight about, ooh, I can hear myself. Can you hear an echo? Maybe it was because, hold on. Okay, let's try this again. All right. So I'm going to talk a lot about sharing versus selling, because this is something that like I really, really strongly believe in. And it's something that I learned very early on in my coaching career. And so I think that, I know we've talked about it before, but I just wanted to kind of go a different route and talk to you guys about it, but also show you some good examples. And then I will post them to the team page also after the call, as well as them being in the recording, because I think that truly this is where a lot of us can kind of get off track. So that's what I wanted to talk about. And I'm also going to kind of talk more about expanding your market at the end of the call, but like I said, I'm really going to focus on the importance of sharing versus selling, because you know, when I'm talking to people, when we're all starting out, it's very rare for someone to say, I want to be a coach because I want to sell to my friends and I want to sell things. That's kind of the opposite of what I get. I get like, I don't want to be that icky, sticky salesperson who is like jamming products down people's throats. Most of us don't come into this with that mindset or that intention. So, when I started out as a coach last February and I started in Melanie's Coach Apprenticeship group, one of the posts that she does was a recording of a call that she did with Lindsay Matway. And if you don't know, Lindsay Matway is currently the #2 coach. When I signed up, she was #1, and Melanie actually was a coach under her and bumped her out of place. So she's currently #2. She runs a really great business. And she does it in an attraction marketing kind of way, which really appeals to me. While she's not necessarily someone, I wouldn't necessarily be in her target market, because we're not the same kind of people. And you might see that in her posts. Her style appeals to me. So more so than her content is her style. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through parts of that call so that you can see the slides that she did. And then there's also a blog post that another coach had done. So what I really want you guys to focus on, and when I do this recording, I'm going to post the video recording so you can see all of that stuff, because I'm a very visual person. And I think if you have the ideas for sharing versus selling, but also have the pictures to go with it, it'll kind of spark some ideas for you. Because I know, when we start out as coaches, we get really excited and we can verbally vomit, but we can also visually vomit. We can post about our workouts by using the images that Beachbody pays millions of dollars to create, because they're there for us. But those aren't the things that are going to sell products for us. Those aren't the things that are going to attract people to us, because if you turn on the TV at any point in the day, chances are on some channel or another, you're going to come across a Beachbody program, right? The company started out with infomercials. They spend millions of dollars a year in advertising and infomercials. So if they're already doing that, if we do the same thing, it doesn't set us apart from them. There's no reason for someone to come to us as a coach and purchase versus ordering off of TV or ordering off of Amazon. So when we're sharing versus selling, we're taking the fact that we believe in these products, we use these products, we're products of the products, but that in addition to getting the product, you get us, and we are the value that people need. And that's what sets us apart. So let me go ahead and see if I can share my screen with you. Bear with me for a second while I look on here. And I'm going to start by pulling up some of those posts, and I'm just going to kind of talk through them. And hopefully you guys find this to be really useful. Okay. Okay, thumbs up if you can see my screen. Good. All right. As I said, I have ADD, so if you look at my tabs. You see, this is like minimal for me to have open, so it takes a little longer. I'm sure it slows it down. All right, so I'm going to jump ahead here. And this is Instant Presenter, so it takes a little while, but hopefully you guys are patient with me. All right, so they just kind of go through some of the do's and don'ts. Can you still hear me? Thumbs up. Okay, I wanted to mute her. So one of the things is, the biggest thing I can tell you is that when you share your progress pictures, you are going to get the most interaction and the most likes. I will tell you that when I posted, I was so afraid to post a progress picture when I first started as a coach, because I started as a coach in February and I had my son in October and I had started working out in January. So I was only about a month into T25 when I became a coach, and my body was not where I wanted it to be. And my before picture, I'm sure you've seen it if you've looked at my blog, or even if you look at my cover photo, is heinous. My husband makes fun of me all the time because I never knew when I took my before picture that I would be sharing it and using it as a marketing tool. So I look ridiculous. I'm postpartum. I'm wearing like a really unsupportive sports bra. My hair is curly and wet, and I just look ridiculous. But and so when I took my first progress picture 30 days out, it was not the progress that I wanted to share, but I knew that I had to put myself out there because it was something that people would relate to. And while I was being really hard on myself, I knew that people wouldn't be as hard on me. So I shared that, and truly from that time on, my business took off. And every time I posted a side-by-side progress picture, it just brings people in. I can talk about T25 until I'm blue in the face. I can post a picture of Shaun T. I can post about a sale on T25. But if I post my results, that's what gets the likes, and that's what gets the attention, and that's what gets people drawn in. Most recently, I'm now 8 months pregnant, so I don't have a progress picture right now to share. But so I'm going back and I'm sharing. Most recently, I did my 3-day refresh pictures. Now I do a transformation Tuesday, or I've been doing transformation to Wednesday because I forget on Tuesday, and I share other people's pictures, but none of it gets as much traction as when I share my own. So even when I went back and shared my 3-day refresh results from the summer, it got so much attention. And I've had people say to me, like, the second I saw that picture, I wanted to purchase it because I know you, and they relate to me and they know me. So definitely you want to post your progress pictures. Don't be too afraid to do that. Put yourself out there. Post your progress pictures. Okay. I'm going to kind of keep going here because I know there's one that I wanted to really show you guys that was important. And again, bear with me. Like I said, I'm kind of all over the place, but I promise it's good stuff. Let's see. So as I said, Beachbody spends millions of dollars a year in their advertisements and in their infomercials and the images that they come up with. If you Google T25, 21-day fix, whatever, you're going to come up with some really great images, right? But those belong to Beachbody. There's no attachment to you with them. So you want to make sure that when you are doing posts on your page, and what I suggest doing is going back and looking at your page frequently from an outsider's point of view. You don't want I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through this. It's probably distracting, but you don't want your page to look like a walking Beachbody advertisement. So I know there's a really great picture here. I'm so sorry. I'm so scattered. Hold on one second. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to talk about this in a second. Where is this good one? Okay, here's a good one. So look at the difference between these. This is sharing versus selling, okay? And this is also personalization at its best. So look at the pictures on the left, right? Here is a picture of Lindsay drinking her Shakeology, and she just puts, I love my Shakeology because, and then she could add text, and she could even say why she loves it, or to make it more engaging, her post could be, I love my Shakeology because ... And then she could say in her post, comment below why you love Shakeology. Now, most of the people that are going to comment, maybe other coaches, or they may be existing customers. But in doing that, she's not only gaining affinity on Facebook, but she's also getting the attention of other people who are like, oh, it's not just Lindsay drinking Shakeology. Look at these hundreds of people who are commenting, or look at these 10 people who are commenting, or whatever. And it's a picture of her. It makes it more personal, right? And she even put her team logo on there versus a picture of Shakeology bag, PB2, whatever, her countertop, which really does it. It's not eye-catching, right? Here's her and her friends drinking Shakeology. There they are with a Shakeology bar set up versus a picture of a Shakeology packet and almond milk. So you want to think about when you are sharing, what's eye-catching and what kind of gets people thinking and what's going to be thought-provoking and going to spark conversation. Let's see if this next one is what I was looking for. Okay, when you're posting, oh, where did it just go? You guys want to kill me, I'm sure. Oh my God, this is screwing up. All right, let me just kind of talk through this. So when you're posting, you want to, like I said, you want to be doing things that are thought-provoking, and you want to be posting about your Beachbody stuff, but you also want to attract people to you. So I'm going to say it again. People can buy Beachbody products from thousands of coaches, right? They can buy them on eBay. They can buy them on Amazon. They can buy them through an infomercial. They can buy them through the Beachbody website. So you want to think about when you're posting, why would someone want to purchase from me? What do I have to offer, and how can I portray that? So first of all, you want to think about when you're sharing the fact of what you do as a coach. So you could do that by posting, a picture of your portioned out 21-day fix meal and make it look nice and talk about how easy meal planning is on the 21-day fix. You can post a recipe that you found. You can post, and it doesn't have to necessarily be your recipe, just find a recipe. Like I'll post things from the Beachbody blog, or if I come across, a really great recipe or a really great, use for coconut oil or whatever, like I post those things because they add value. And by doing that, people see that I'm someone that they can kind of go to. I post a lot. I have a friend today, and Jess will know who I'm talking about, who Jess and I both say, like, we would love to get this girl on board with health and fitness. And she's just not ready yet. And she's not ready to spend the money, and she's just not ready. And so I've been giving her tips along the way. She's never purchased anything from me. She's not a customer of mine, but she knows that she can come to me for value, and she knows that she can come to me for advice. So for months, she's been trying to kick her soda habit. And I've been saying try LaCroix, try this, this seltzer. It's really great, blah, 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 blah. Today, finally, after months, she posted about, trying LaCroix, and she tagged me in the post. So now not only is she seeing me as someone who she can value my opinion and she trusts, but now her friends also see that I'm someone that they can value and trust. So you want to think of it that way too. The other thing you want to do is you want to post things that are unrelated to Beachbody. So if you find a really good product, post about it on your page so people know that you're not there just to sell Shakeology and just to sell your workouts or just to talk about your workouts, but you're sharing with them and you're someone who's relatable. So you want to think about your niche market. Like for me right now, I have a lot of pregnant friends. So if I were to post about, a pregnancy oil that I'm using on my stomach for stretch marks, that would gain a lot of traction because a lot of the people in my niche market are pregnant or have been pregnant or will be pregnant. So you want to think about that too. You don't want to post something like, I'm not going to post a review of mascara because this is it. I wear clear mascara, it would be out of character for me, and it's not really the niche market that I have. Okay, so types of posts for sharing. You can post, like I said, post your meal plan, post recipes. Those are things that show that you're someone in the health and fitness field and that you're not looking for people to necessarily always purchase from you, but that they can come to you. Also, add in some humor. If you find something funny, even if it's not workout related, it's just something funny that you found, post that because it'll get a lot of attention. Ask people for opinions. I do this, again, a lot of what I post about is either Beachbody, working out, food, or my son. So I'll post for suggestions for different things like strollers or baby monitors or, overnight diapers or whatever. But the point is, you know, I'm building a presence and I'm attracting people to me. So they're people that can then relate to me. So when it comes time for them to want to get in shape, they're already watching me for other things. And they're like, oh, you know what? I feel like we might click. And really, when you are doing this, it's all about building relationships and finding ways that you can click with people. Okay, I've totally lost my place in this slideshow. And I know there are great things in here that I wanted to talk to you about. I'm going to ditch this because it's going to drive me crazy. It's probably driving you crazy too. I'm going to pull up this other one. All right, so when you want to think about and sharing versus selling, you don't ever want, and this is the picture I was looking for, but it's not coming up. You don't ever want to post, here's a good one. I hope you guys can see this. You don't want to post this here. Because if you can see where I'm circling my mouse, or here where I'm circling my mouse, you don't want to post things like that stock image from Beachbody of T25. You don't want to post and say, and I've done this, but now looking back, I don't recommend doing it. You don't want to post and say, oh, message me to find out how you can get PiYo for $10 when it's $140 for the challenge pack. Because I know when we're doing that, we're thinking we're going to attract people. But if you have done that and you have people approach you, they kind of lose trust in you. Because truly, are they going to spend $10 at the end of the day? No, they're going to spend $140. And while we know when we're creating that post that we're doing it to pull people in and to explain to them that yes, it is a great value because you're getting a program for $10, and that is true, it just seems a little bit sneaky, and I don't ever want to seem sneaky, right? So please avoid that. I mean, and the other thing too is I think that sometimes that screams desperation. And when we are, you know, as coaches, like I said, and this is what sharing versus selling is all about, we're there to share. We're there to add even more value to the products that already exist. And the difference between someone purchasing through a site like Amazon or through the Beachbody site is that they get us. And when you put yourself out there in those ways, or you're offering too much for free, or you're offering too much giveaway stuff, you're kind of diminishing your value. And, you know, everyone wants to save money, but at the same time, we want the best that we can get, right? We want the best that we can get for our money. So if we make ourselves seem like we're not as valuable and we're not worth that investment, then people won't see us as being worth it. You know, I think about this when I tutor a lot, because when I tutor, I'm charging like $50 an hour, right? Which is really low. Like I have my master's as a reading specialist. I could be charging $90. And Megan knows this. In Monmouth Beach, there's a woman who charges like literally, like I think she charges $90 an hour or something. And the crazy thing is, when it comes down to it, of course people would rather pay $50, but they'd almost rather pay $90 because, oh my gosh, if she charges $90, she must be awesome, right? So she's putting it out there and she's getting that. She's showing that she's worth $90. So are you worth them purchasing a challenge pack? Are you worth them coming to you versus getting it from a site? And if you present yourself in that way and you're sharing what you have to offer to them through your recipes, your meal plans, your tips, your tricks, whatever, you'll have people that want to join you and want to go through the journey with you because they know that you're going to support them. So hopefully that makes sense to you. One of the things that this really stuck with me, you know, when you go to the mall and you're walking through the mall, and I think every mall has them, is like the kiosks in the middle of the mall. And at those kiosks, it's usually not people who are just standing there waiting to make a sale, right? The people at the kiosks, like I'm thinking of the people that want to curl your hair, and also the people that have like the hand stuff. They sell like the lotions, you know what I'm talking about? And like you have to walk through the mall and pretend you're on your phone or look down or look away or whatever, because they'll stop you like, can I just ask you a question? And they want to like throw this crap on your hands and show you that it will peel away all the dead skin. So everyone wants to avoid those people, right? Chances are you're not going to buy something from those people unless you have that in your mind already. Do you want to be that kind of salesperson, or do you want to be the kind of salesperson when you walk in a store and they're there and they greet you and they say hello and they're there if you have a question, but they're not, can I help you buy this? Can I help you find that? Are you still doing okay? They're not in your face, those people that you feel like you have to hide from, right? You don't want to be the person that people have to hide from. You want to be the person who creates a presence and people know that you're there when they're ready, but you're not in their face annoying them and seeming desperate. So that's stuck with me. Hopefully that sticks with you. All right, so look over here, and then I'm going to jump off of this and talk about a few other things. So here's just an example of adding humor. Again, your posts don't always have to be about Beachbody, and in fact, it's better off if they're not. So if you go to your page and it's like selling Beachbody, drinking Shakeology, doing your workout, and that's all that you're doing, you want to switch it up a little bit. You want to add in humor. You want to ask questions. You want to ask for opinions. You want to do things that are engaging so that people don't feel like, oh, I'm going to go to her page and it's going to be Beachbody again. And it happens sometimes because we get excited and we have a lot of ideas and we want to make a sale and we want to get our SC points. But you want to just do a little quick assessment of yourself once in a while and see if that's where you're at. I'm actually, as I'm saying this, I'm thinking to myself, I should probably go clean up my page a little bit. And you can hide posts. Here's another one that's funny. So this is humor, and it kind of relates to you being seen as someone who's into health and fitness, but like it's also pitching to your market, right? Like what woman doesn't think, I wish cake went straight to my boobs, right? That's funny. So people are going to like it. People are going to comment on it, whatever. They're going to look to you for that value. All right. So this is kind of what I was talking about. If you can kind of see this post here, everyone knows that you're a coach and you want to help them, but what else do you have to offer? So you want to really talk about those things. You want to talk about the tips that you can, if your niche of people are busy moms, if you're finding that those are the most people in your news feed, in your friends list, whatever, you want to post to things that would appeal to them. You're not going to be posting about working out for your spring break vacation as a college student if you are a mom with mom friends, right? You're not even sometimes you're not posting about, bikinis if you are postpartum or whatever. So you want to think about whatever, how can you appeal to those people? So here, are you someone that travels for work? How do you stay on track while on the road? Like I'll post a picture. I'll take the stuff that's in my lunchbox that, because I have a lot of teachers in my feed and I'm teaching right now. I'll take that stuff out and I'll post about that. Or today I took a picture of myself drinking Shakeology on my commute and talked about how when I'm driving down the road at 7:00 in the morning and someone looks over at me, that like inner fat kid in me thinks, do they think I'm drinking a chocolate shake? Because that's what it probably looks like to them. So I'm kind of thinking about the time that I'm posting, 7:00 in the morning, people may be going to work when they're looking at my post, and also the people that are in my market. Okay, so again, there's another progress picture. You can see, like I said, that really appeals to people. That'll get people interested. Here's one you don't want to do. You do not want to post this, okay? Don't make a collage of the pictures that are already created by Beachbody. The other thing, I don't know if you can spot this in this picture. The other thing you don't want to do, right here, teambeachbody.com/Rachel9876. Do not post your link. Don't do it. First of all, that screams sale. Secondly, you want to engage in conversation. And third, if you think about the first time you went and clicked on your coach's Team Beachbody site, you probably got lost. You were probably overwhelmed. When I send someone to my site, I send them to a very specific place. I send them the link to the challenge pack they're going to purchase. Because by that time that they're ready to go to my site, we've already gone through all the conversation to set them up with the sale they're going to make. So there's no decision-making process. They're going to log on. They're going to see something else. They're going to notice, oh, look, there's the 21-day fix, but Krisanthi said that it was $160 this month, and here I can get it for $60. I'm going to do that one. And then they purchase the program without Shakeology, right? That can happen. So don't just send them to your site, because they're going to get lost. There's a lot out there on that Beachbody site, and it's not always, in my opinion, the most user-friendly. So they might get frustrated and close out, or they might, purchase something else, or they may have already had an account from years ago where it's not tied to you. Don't post your link. Post, message me, comment. You can make a Wufoo application, post a link to that, and then you can engage in conversation with them. But don't post that. And again, don't post these stock photos, because if you turn on your TV right now, I guarantee you there's a T25 infomercial, a Body Beast infomercial. They're out there. You don't need to do it for them. Let's see. Okay. I think that was all for that one, and I will post the link to this. I'll also post the link to Lindsay's call. Okay. So, let's just kind of go back to the other things that I was talking about. So again, you are sharing versus selling. You don't want your post to scream, buy this from me. You want your post to scream, I'm someone you can get value from. I'm someone who can offer you something that you wouldn't normally get from a gym, something you wouldn't normally get just from purchasing it from an infomercial. I'm here to support you. I'm just thinking as I'm going along here. And one of the things that I do with my challengers, some of them, is in the morning, I text them. Like, I have a couple of challengers who at 5 o'clock in the morning, my alarm goes off and my alarm will say, text Nicole, text Allison, and I will text them. What gym do you go to that your trainer is texting you? Or what Jillian Michaels video have you bought that Jillian Michaels is texting you, right? So if I were to talk about that in one of my posts, I think that that's something that could be valuable to someone who is like, you know what? I don't have time to work out, or I don't have the motivation. I can't get up in the mornings. If you're talking about the fact that you do that, that appeals to someone, and that sets you apart from the thousands of other coaches who are out there, right? So you want to do that. You want to always be thinking, what can set me apart? What can show my value? What makes people want to work with me, whether it's to work with me as their coach in a challenge group or to work with me as a part of my team? What would attract people to me? Okay. So that's kind of what I have on selling versus sharing. And again, it's just having, you want to think about your Facebook page or whatever social media venue you're using, whether it's Instagram or your blog or, a like page, whatever. You want to think of that as your reality show, right? So you don't want to you don't necessarily want to post like the negative stuff, like, oh, I'm having the worst day, or like, oh, my head is killing me, or like complaining negative stuff, because honestly, like if I'm having a bad day and I go to your page, it's just going to make it worse. You want people to go to your page for uplifting stuff. You want them to go to your page and get something out of it. All right, so that's what I have for that. Does anyone, before I move on, have anything to add to that? Is there anything I missed? Because like I said, I know I have a lot to say, and I know I was a little bit scattered because that's my pregnancy brain right now, is leaving me scattered. Meg, do you have anything to add to that?
Hi.
Oh, I think you might be muted. Hold on.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Am I good?
How to gain some traction on your Facebook.
Hold on, I can hear her. Hold on.
Page. How to really get out there and attract.
Okay.
No, I think that was great. I mean, it made me even think, oh, crap, I need to check a few things out that I'm doing, because, like, this is great. Like, I totally agree. Like, there are times, and I can even think of other coaches, not knowing on this call or knowing that, on our team, but that post, like, the specials for the month or, that kind of stuff. And it's totally like I get more traction when people are like, wow, you're really inspiring me, rather than, oh, you're trying to give me this for free. You know what I mean? Like, people don't really jump on that.
Right.
So, I mean, I think all the points that you pointed out were awesome.
All right, cool.
I'm definitely going to check out my page thoroughly.
Yeah, because you don't think of it, and we don't visit our own pages, right? And so, like, even for me tonight, I was going to go on and post, and I'm going to talk about this in a second, but I was going to go on and post about like advertising for coaches, like joining my team and like the value of that. But I realized that today I already have, like, Melanie tagged me in a post for my volume last week, and she tagged me in a post for rank advancement. And I feel like if I go and do that in addition to my Shakeology post from this morning and my workout post, like, holy crap, that's too much. So I'm going to let it ride for the night, and then I'll go back to that tomorrow. So sometimes you have to think about what other people are posting too.
Right.
All right. So that's kind of the sharing versus selling thing. So hopefully that was really, I hope that was valuable to you guys. And I hope that that kind of rang home, because again, I don't think that, when people do that, when people are posting things like I showed you not to do, like I said, I'm guilty of it. I've definitely done some of the things that I've talked about, but when you hear it and when you see it and when you see that side by side, do this, don't do this, I think that is like so powerful. And, we get so excited, or we get to the end of the month and we're like, oh my gosh, I need to get these last 2 SC points, or I need to get this volume, or I want to do this, whatever. And we just, like I said, you can visually vomit in addition to verbally vomiting, right? So we want to put it out there and we're like, oh my gosh, like I'll do anything to get this sale. And that's not why we're here. I mean, obviously the income is a great perk. The Success Club rewards are a great perk. But at the end of the day, we're going to be successful if our focus is on sharing what we have to offer and providing value and supporting people and helping to change their life in some way. And sometimes that gets clouded. So that's something you just want to focus on. So the other thing is, like I said, I strongly, strongly believe that sharing versus selling is what, and attraction marketing just in general, is what has really built my business to the point that it's at and given me the success along the way. I have the most success because people approach me, because they see what I'm doing, they see the results that I'm having, they see my passion, they see that other people are joining me, and then they come to me. And it's a lot of times, like I said about the girl drinking the LaCroix, she still never purchased anything from me, but I know that I'm adding value to her life, and that she'll recommend me in a heartbeat to someone who is ready. So one of the things that we've been talking about, and I talk about this all the time, is your method for inviting and your method for expanding your market. And I know that this is something that everyone kind of feels uncomfortable with, right? But we also kind of feel like, oh, I got this. Like, it's inviting. I'll message a couple people about what we have to offer. But when you're inviting, you want to also think about sharing versus selling. So it's not just your posts, it's the conversations you're having. And like I said, when you have people coming to your page, you want them to come for value, and you want to be building a relationship with them and having rapport with them. Same thing when you're inviting. I want you guys to all think of inviting in a new way. I don't want you to go through your friends list, go through your 100 no's and message people and say, hey, I have a challenge group starting. Because for me, truthfully, that works not a lot, okay? What works for me is when I go through and I start conversations. Because when I'm starting conversations, I may have someone who's been watching me and I have no idea. But then I message them, and so many times when I message them and I'm just like, hey, how's it going? Or, hey, like, saw the pictures of the kids, they're getting so big. Or, comment on something that's happening in their life or start a conversation. So many times they'll say, I've been meaning to reach out to you. And I don't necessarily say like, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach. Hey, I have a group starting. I'm just starting a conversation with them, and I'm just building that relationship with them. And before I do that, I usually go to their page so that I have something to talk about and I can comment on something in their life. So just start out with a conversation. So when you are inviting, I was listening to a call the other day. I don't even remember what it was, and I wrote down these notes for myself. When you're thinking of inviting, first, you want to invite people to be your friend. That means you're creating new friendships. You're sending out new friend requests. The other thing is, when you're inviting, maybe think of it as going and inviting people to a free group you're running, or inviting people to, if you have a fit club running, or this is a really good idea. And I don't know that I'm comfortable enough to do this yet, but maybe some of you are. So one of the suggestions that I heard the other day was to invite people to come and meet you at the grocery store. So if people are struggling to know how to clean eat, say like, hey, why don't you come meet me at ShopRite and I'll show you the things that I buy, or I'll walk you through the grocery store and we can talk about, clean eating. People do that, and people love it because they're like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what to buy, And again, that's another great post too. You're walking through the grocery store and you take a picture of your shopping cart and what's in it. That's clean eating. That's a good, valuable post. I'll post my grocery list sometimes and people are like, oh, thanks. You just made my list for me for the week. Now I know what I'm going to buy. You can invite people to come over and meal prep with you. You can, and I've seen this too, like even in Moms on a Budget things where people are like, hey, I'm going to start like a crock pot swap. Like, do you guys want to, I'm going to have like 5 people over and we're each going to bring a recipe and ingredients to make 5 crock pot freezer meals. You can do that. Like have a girls' night out where, you know, you're all putting together recipes or you're sitting down and writing out a meal plan or whatever, because you're teaching them, you're taking the tools that you have and you're sharing it. And when you do that, you're not inviting them over to sell something to them, but you're providing them with value. And that's what people want from us as coaches. So those are just the things that I want you to think about when you're inviting, is think about inviting as starting conversations and let those conversations naturally lead in the direction of Beachbody versus starting a conversation about Beachbody that people aren't going to reply to. Because again, I can switch on my TV and listen to an infomercial. I don't need you to message me an infomercial. I don't know if you guys have been getting these, but I got one tonight, so it's fresh in my mind. I've been getting these phone calls, even though I signed up for like the do not call like years ago, right? So I get a phone call tonight from an unknown number. I answer it. And this has happened so many times. It's an automated voice. Hey, what if I told you that you could earn 5 figures by blah, 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 blah? Like, holy sales pitch. Like, who really listens to that and is like, oh my gosh, I want to earn 5 figures. Let me press the number. Like, so you don't want to do that in your invites. You don't want to invite someone and say, hey, Beachbody has this new program out and it's on sale this month. I'd love to tell you more information. It's such a great program. You can lose weight. You can change your life. You can change your body. Slow down. How about you go through your friends list? You see someone you haven't talked to in a while. Hey, Sarah, how's it going? You know, just wanted to touch base with you to see what's going on in your life. I see that you got a new job. Whatever. Leave it at that. Let them reply. Breadcrumb. Start a conversation. Then maybe she'll say to you, what have you been up to? Or, hey, I've seen your posts. You know, you're really inspiring me. And then it naturally will lead that way because Beachbody is a part of your life. And that is what you are posting about. And they have seen that. The other thing is you want to think about expanding your market and you want to think about the presence that you have. And I know we've talked about this with Facebook Affinity, but you want to post things on people's walls. If it's someone's birthday, you want to comment happy birthday, but you want to say something a little bit more personal so it stands out and you grab their attention. Or maybe someone posts something and then you see a friend of their friend post something and now you have someone, you know, you have a common interest. You can start liking that person's posts or like it going to that person's page and friend requesting that person and expanding your market that way. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about, and I know I'm kind of jumping around, but I promise it's all got a common theme in my head, and I hope it's coming out that way when I talk. The last thing I want to talk about, and I was talking to Megan about this the other day, was you want to, this is something Melanie says all the time. Hi, Miles. You want to have like a marketing strategy in your head. So I got this idea the other day from Kat, who's not on the call, but I know she'll listen to the recording. And then I was talking about it with Megan. And, you know, right now I'm teaching, and I was a teacher for years before I had Grayson full-time. And my friend Kat was like, you know, I want to do something like Cash for summer, kind of like Cash for Christmas. Like around Christmas time, a lot of Beachbody coaches are like, hey, like, you know, Cash for Christmas, earn $500 for the holiday season to help you pay your bills by becoming a coach, whatever. And I'm like, you know what, that's a great idea. And it got me to thinking, when I was a teacher, you know, you have summers off, great. But most districts, or the districts that I've worked in, don't pay you over the summer. So from like December, January on, I was always like, oh crap, like I'm terrible at saving money. I didn't put money away. What am I going to do this summer so that I can pay my bills, right? So I'd be like looking for nannying jobs, looking for waitressing jobs, looking for tutoring jobs, and it was always on my mind, jobs. So I thought, that's perfect. I have a lot of teacher friends, you know, and before I had kids, like I could think about a summer job and I could go and be a nanny or be a waitress and work crazy hours and miss out on everything in the summer. But now that I have kids, I can't, that's not an option for me. I'm not going to get a part-time job over the summer. And so for me right now, it's been such a blessing to know I don't have to go and look for a summer job. I have my Beachbody income and I'm building my business and it's going to more than cover my income for the summer. So that's my marketing strategy for the next few weeks is going to be talking about, as a teacher, how this is helping me. So my posts are going to be once a day, I'm going to be posting about, being a teacher, being able to make money, not having to worry over the summer, or, making this income by working from home. So I have pictures like from last summer where it's, me sitting at the pool saying like my office for the day. And I have a blog post that I wrote that I'm going to post to my page that shows all those things, me sitting with Grayson, me at the pool, me at the beach, me, sitting outside with my personal development. I actually have one I want to post that's like, got a Corona and eat that frog, and showing like, yeah, this is work for me. So if I do that, I'm attracting people who are probably at that point right now in my niche market, those teachers who are like, crap, what am I going to do over the summer? Like, how am I going to pay my bills? There are teachers who take out loans from their pension, or who, get other jobs or whatever. So if I can attract them, and those are the people that I want to work with because they're most like me, then that's perfect. So I have now a strategy, because I was talking to my coach Melanie the other day, and I said, you know what? I just feel like I put these things out there, but I'm not getting the coaches that I want, and I'm not getting a lot of people interested in the business, and I'm really not comfortable with that. And she was like, well, Chrysanthi, like, honestly, how consistent are you? And it made me think, like, I talk to you guys all the time about consistency, but if I post about something, I almost feel like I can't post it again, which really isn't the way, because as we've talked about, people don't see all of the posts that you post, right? And also, if you say something once, it's not going to stick. But if you keep talking about something, it's going to stick. So I'm not saying to say the same exact thing every day, but if you have a common theme, so for me, it's going to be making that cash for the summer. Every day in a new way, I'm going to talk about making cash for the summer. In addition, my challenge group thoughts are going to be around, getting in shape for the summer. So that's really what's on everyone's mind right now, right? The weather's starting to warm up. We're talking about, less layers, going to the beach, going to the pool, whatever. That's always going to be the underlying theme in my posts. So when I post 2 of my posts a day, one's going to be about coaching, one's going to be about challenge groups, and in a new way each day I'm going to talk about those things. So if you have kind of a common theme and you're really consistent with it, and don't just post something once and think, all right, that's going to get it. So if you do it in the right way, where you're sharing versus selling, it's not going to be overwhelming. But again, if you're posting T25 challenge pack, $180, go to my site, beachbody.com/Chrysanthi. No, don't do that. Okay. So that's what I've got. Hopefully that kind of, hits home for you guys, and you can, like I said, self-assess no matter where you are in your business, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing this for a year, or you've been doing it for 6 months. Go to your page, look at your posts. Also, I do a lot of searching, like even today, coming up with ideas of things to talk to you guys about. I typed in like sharing versus selling Beachbody, and I came upon a few different things, the Lindsay Matway thing. There's videos out there, whatever. So post, search and use the resources you have, and find the people that appeal to you, and look at what they're doing that works. Find things that are really clean. Like as I was doing that today, I came upon some things, and it gave me great ideas for how I can take what I'm doing and make it a little bit better. So just, you always want to be growing and assessing yourself. Don't get too comfortable. Don't ever get to the point where you're going to give up because something's not working. Just figure out why it's not working and change it. And if you're finding that you're sending out invites and people aren't replying, let's talk about it. Post what you have, share it with us, and, let us say to you like, you know what? I probably wouldn't reply to that because you said this, or I would reply to that. So I don't know, maybe it's just those people or whatever, but, put yourself out there and take a risk, but also be willing to grow and change. So that's all I've got for you guys. Hopefully that was helpful, and hopefully, you are able to kind of make a few changes and really see them improve your business.